getting ready to start working, and I watched the Y-Files most recent installment episode, whatever you want to call it, and some things kind of like just kind of became apparent to me that I've never really thought of before. You know why I don't really buy most explanations of what many believe to be alien abductions. And this isn't me saying that the abductions don't happen. I don't know whether that's true or not. It's not necessarily very nice to say to someone like your very traumatic experience is not real. That didn't happen. So I don't, have an opinion on that publicly anyway. But as far as the explanation that is being kind of pushed, you know, especially more recently. In the past, it was the opposite. If a person said that they were abducted by aliens, then they were kind of shit on, to be honest. Called crazy, maybe even actioned upon. But more recently, because it's in favor of the current narrative and things that are being put in the main limelight, the news and popular media and shit like that. Um, Aliens, and if you just like with most shit, man, if you take a couple of minutes and actually think that through, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't match up. So if you're to impress upon me the thought that aliens aliens are abducting people, right? The common and popular um, context to that is that said aliens are advanced. They have advanced technology, they have advanced capabilities physically and technologically. If that is the case, why would you need to continue to experiment for hundreds of years if you're technologically and mentally advanced? If you're advanced in every way, your society is advanced in every way, why would you need to keep experimenting for such a long period of time? You wouldn't. Maybe take you a few times, if that, right? And then the technology that is described by those that have abduction stories or traumatic abuse stories that have to do with phenomena that they didn't understand, that commonly is referred to or seems like non human, non earth beings of the species that we know. Um, all that technology is earthbound. All of it's English. Like it's all stuff that is disclosed very openly by Earth governments in patents, in declassified accounts of things, in experimentation. I mean, even commercially, you know, um, those technologies are not really like alien. They're very much um, known to Earth, and most of them are not even like new or secret technology. So when those two things are put together, to me, that kind of signifies like something else. I think I did a video a while back talking about how lots of experiencers, that's what they call them, experiencers. Lots of experiencers talk about how they did regression therapy of different kinds, sometimes hypnosis, sometimes just like regression with a therapist. And when they looked deeper into the memories that were apparently forcibly suppressed, they started to notice that the beings that were in these memories, the beings walking around and doing shit, many times they were either just straight out humans or they were humans in some sort of disguise. Some of those accounts, the people even talked about how it seemed to be that they were human, but they were specifically short, like they hired or employed or used short people specifically so that they could give off that, you know, aesthetic. So, um, not saying whether I think aliens are a thing or not. It would make more sense that there are more species than what we know of. But what I am saying is that it seems very much like there's a reason that we're being told goofy shit like that. And again, it those things, those experimentations and snatchings and all that shit wouldn't need to repeat for hundreds of years. If you're an advanced society with advanced technology and science and surgical and medical advancements, you don't need to keep snatching and experimenting for hundreds of years. That doesn't make any sense at all unless it's for other purposes, like literally for the trauma, like MK Ultra ish, right? Doesn't that make more sense? Or to fulfill some sort of section of a larger operation. That's kind of more what makes sense. But in any sense, when you break down a lot of experiencers' stories, you start to see a lot more people. And yeah, it may be more Willy Wonka ish with the types of beings that are used, but nonetheless, they do, start off saying, yeah, big eyes, big head. But then when they regress, when they do the regression therapy and really start to break down those walled up memories, there's a lot more people walking around and doing shit. And the technologies are not new or secret or hidden. Um, for instance, okay, like when people have implants or when they have surgical shit done in those experiences, one of the mystical things about it is that, oh, well, they did all this shit and I didn't even have a scar. I've made many videos talking about nanotechnology. Um, there's there's all kinds of ways to accomplish doing that without scars. Um, there's anthrobots. That's also a thing that is starting to be talked about publicly, but is not new. Anthrobots, nanobots, um, frequency surgery is also a thing. Like there's, I mean, and none of that shit is new, man. Um, the Egyptians were doing shit with frequency. We only tapped the capstone, the capstone of what the Egyptians were doing with frequency. We really don't know shit. So like, to me, when you break all that down, alien stuff is a narrative. And again, it's not me saying that I don't believe in other types of beings or species. Just that specific narrative that specific people have pushed. Crowley, piece of shit. Jacques Vallée, I like Jacques Vallée, man, but he wrote several books kind of perpetuating that. There was a guy on the Concrete podcast recently pushing a really old book. He's written a bunch of books too. Just seems like it's a bunch of old spooks that have been given money to push a specific narrative, and they're not even really good at it anymore. You know, most of them are not good at it anymore. So I don't know. I just thought that was interesting, and maybe some folks have some interesting like insight into that because I don't I don't buy it. I'm not saying at all that there aren't you know technologies and vehicles and things that happen. I'm just saying the explanation for those things is likely very different than what everyone believes and is perpetuated and we're told. I find that to be very interesting. Anyway, I gotta go work. So I hope you have a cool day. Maybe you found that interesting. Maybe you'll dig into it like I'm gonna dig into it more because I've already dug into it a pretty decent amount. But I love you. Peace.